Hi and welcome to a new J and More video. In this video we're going to follow up on a video that we published earlier this week about clickjacking, which, as we mentioned, is a technique where hackers can load your website inside their own to misrepresent themselves, and which helps them do different hacker things like stealing information or stealing bank data or whatever they are planning to do. In the video we mentioned that two CMSs that are very popular are vulnerable out of the box, Joomla and WordPress, and we also demonstrated that. And we also explained that you can fix this problem by installing an add-on and changing some settings. But after we uploaded the video, someone reached out to us on Twitter, George Wilson, who is a Joomla contributor, let us know that in the upcoming version of Joomla, Joomla 4, there will be a plugin that helps alleviate some of the problems around clickjacking by letting you set up headers. Of course, we had to test that for ourselves, and we set up our own Joomla 4 site and we tried hacking our own website again, and we're going to share the results with you. We're just going to do it live. We have set up a Joomla 4 website, but first we're going to show you the result of a Joomla 3 website, fresh out of the box. I'm going to use a tool that I built for my employer. I called it a Barrel of Phishes, and it's basically a tool that creates a sort of an hacking environment where I load the website inside another website. You can set the URL that you want to load and a barrel message. In this case it's Joomla 3.9 standard installation, so that we can see the difference. This is the standard Joomla, and we're going to try and load the content, and as you can see here I can load the Joomla website. You can see my message here. So basically I managed to load this website and I can now use it for clickjacking purposes. I'm not quite sure on how this technique actually works, but I have been told that they hide iframes and make you click them. Either way, this is not something that you want to be possible with your website. And we're going to take a look now at how Joomla 4 helps you with this problem. This was the Joomla 3 installation, and we're going to do the same thing on a Joomla 4 website, also freshly installed. I didn't change anything to the settings. I have already configured the URL and the barrel message, and we're going just to create the barrel. And we're seeing the header message, a fresh Joomla 4 installation with HTTP headers plugin activated. And we see a white screen. And that doesn't mean that my tool isn't working, but what it does mean is that Joomla 4 is blocking my attempt to load my website from another domain, because obviously I'm using my plugins URL, and this means that Joomla is effectively protecting you against clickjacking out of the box. As you can see, this is the old Joomla, just loading the website, and can be abused for whatever purpose. And this is the new version of Joomla. You can't load the website, it can be abused, so websites that are built in Joomla 4 are at least a little bit more secure out of the box. And I'm going to show you exactly how that has been achieved. We're going to go to Joomla 4 again. Now, in the other video we mentioned that you can prevent this type of clickjacking or hacking by setting up HTTP headers, and there are probably a lot of people using Joomla who have no idea what HTTP headers are, and I can blame you for that. So setting them up might be a stretch for yourself, but in Joomla 4 they have created a new plugin that out of the box doesn't seem to be doing much, but it already gives you a great head start when compared to Joomla 3 or WordPress. This is the standard setup. I'm going to go back a step in case you want to experiment with Joomla 4 and wonder how I got here. We got here by going to plugins. I'm sure you know how to get there. And then when you filter by system, we have a new plugin here called System HTTP Headers, which by default has X-frame options enabled. And in case you're wondering what that is, X-frame options is a header that you need to configure to block other websites from loading your website, like we've shown here. This is a website where the header is not enabled, and this is the website where the header is enabled. 1 second. Okay, that's the same website. This is Joomla 4, where the header is active, telling your browser that it can't load the website. So we're going to take a look at the plugin again. And the option that is responsible for securing your website is this one, X-frame options, which is enabled. And this means that your website is currently protected. The wording may be a little bit confusing. If you disable this option, I would be able to clickjack my own website again. Now, if I read the documentation correctly, it would only allow me to load the website from my own domain. Like, let's say you have a website www.myownwebsite.com. With this option disabled, you would only be able to load your website from your own domain, which is pretty harmless. I mean, they would have to hack your website and able to abuse that, and once your website is hacked, well, that's the least of your problems. There are some other options that you can configure. I'm not sure. You can skip to the end of the video if you're not interested in all the different options, or sleep on both ears, because the conclusion for you would be that you are now protected out of the box. But let's just skim over the other options. One of the options is referrer policy. This allows you to set the behavior of your website in regards to sending information to other websites like Google Analytics. This lets you decide if you want to give away extra information. But this is a little more complicated because you'll have to pick one of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 options, which are explained over here. And then there's the option for the expert. You can force your own HTTP headers. And you do that by clicking the plus button, choosing a HTTP header. Let's say it doesn't really matter because it doesn't change. And then you would have to set the correct header value, choose where you want to apply it, and save it. Now, I'm not going to discuss this any further because this actually requires you to know what all the different headers do and set the correct setting. The focus of this video is to let you know that Joomla will be protecting you against clickjacking out of the box. That's what most end users are probably maybe not concerned about, but the option that will affect most of the end users. There are also extra options like strict transport security, HSTS. I always get that one wrong. If you enable that option, you would basically be telling browsers that they can only visit parts or your website over HTTPS. Like, for example, if they visit your website over http://www.myownwebsite.com, it would tell them, yeah, that's very cool, but you can only load this website and everything on this website over HTTPS. It makes your website more secure. It's easy to set up. Assuming you have your SSL certificate installed, you can just click enable and you can keep the basic settings. I'm not going to enable that right now because I see that I don't have a certificate installed. I'm being a bad example. The conclusion of this video is that we tried Joomla 4 and see what happened in regard to clickjacking, and the conclusion is very simple, that Joomla will protect you against clickjacking out of the box in Joomla 4, which will be available in stores So we hope you enjoyed this update on clickjacking in Joomla 4, and we're looking forward to making more videos about Joomla 4 in the future when it's available. We'll see you in the next video. Enjoy your weekend and take care.